Good morning on this last day of January. I can't believe it's already going to be February. And I was thinking this morning, it being a working morning for me, about thoughts. And I'm writing a piece right now on it. And I wanted to do a little piece right now here on live video. And what came to me was this. I have this feeling today that we're living in such an incredible time right now. And when I have that thought, I think of just within a century, all the information, all the tools that have come into the awareness of humanity, helping us, guiding us, assisting us to raise our consciousness in our world. And I believe extending out into the universe and universes. But I just as easily could have a thought and focus attention on things like the inclement weather and all the descriptive words that are given to the Midwest weather at this moment. I could focus on the state of government affairs and world affairs. And depending on the thought, I notice a feeling, and that feeling is the quality of the thought. So it put me to thinking about how we think and our thoughts. And in saying that, I believe that there are different steps in us coming to understand thought. And I see it as a very useful tool. I see it as one that allows us to bring forth and create our life. And in alignment with our heart, it allows us to produce things that I feel are very wondrous. That's quality of thought there too. So some of the tools I think about are how we've had so many different ways of practicing meditative states that help us to still our thoughts, ways to help us free our minds, and they're all beautiful. But for most of us on this path of understanding our own presence and how that is one and the same, how we are aligned with that source, it becomes a journey of first having to be aware of thoughts. And that awareness simply allows us to hear the inner dialogue that we have all day long. And anybody who has practiced consciousness understands that the first step in consciousness is all of a sudden becoming aware of how unconscious we truly are. I remember reading that in an Eckhart Tolle book, The Power of Now, many decades ago. And as I continue to practice, I go back and I reread many classic books and writers and teachers and thinkers that have certainly helped to shift consciousness. And I always come out with deeper understanding because that's part of that process. And I've learned how to become more playful in that process and often find myself laughing at myself for things that I continually kind of unravel and discover new sides and deeper sides and see where I've also been stuck. So I'd like to talk about that awareness of thought and just share with you a couple of things. In that awareness of thought, we begin to first realize that we have a choice. And then there becomes the shifting of thought. And that choice allows us to perhaps shift an idea, shift to a different thought. But it's not enough to go from just positive thinking and say, any object, any situation, anything that we're experiencing at the moment, and just give it words to make it positive. That is a kind of a shallow type of way of asserting a different type of thought. So when I have those thoughts and I think about shifting them, I'm first learning to understand. That's the awareness, that understanding that comes with thought. What am I perceiving? Why? What's the core piece of that? But more importantly, why or how am I feeling this feeling that I'm having? Because every thought is attached with a feeling too. And so that piece is in the awareness. The shifting then comes to not only being able to shift the thought, but actually be able to feel the quality of the thought you're shifting to. So for instance, if I see the cold weather outside today, I can think, oh, it's freezing cold and it's miserable and my gosh, there's so much suffering going on and all those kinds of things. Now I can shift that thought simply by saying, it's cold outside and I'm inside and it's warm and I'm safe and I'm comfortable and I'm wishing that for other people. That's a shift in thought. But the real shift happens in the quality, the experience that I have when I shift the thought and feel into, let's say, the joy or truly that warm, cozy feeling, or thankful, or imagining strength and protection over those individuals with something within them that's insurmountably their power, receiving or giving something to that individual as it lifts them. When I see that in my own thinking, or hear it, or feel it, now it's a transformative piece that allows me to actually transform. Transform not only the thinking patterns within myself, but the creations that I make in my world, in my life, and out into the world, shifting and transforming the world. So today, wanting just to share with you that piece, giving you something to think and feel, and wishing that alignment for you as I practice myself, and just knowing that in this practice, many incredible things are possible. Going back to my initial thought, we are living in an incredible time today, right now, this moment. And what we do with that can be of great significance and magnificence. Blessings on your day.